Hello everyone, hopefully by the time this video releases it's actually Christmas Day, and with that being said, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. With the year winding down, I've been sitting back thinking about everything that I've done this year up until this point, and this year was eventful to say the least. For those who are in Twitch streams, you may know some of these things already, as I've talked about a lot of these things before live on the streams. And yeah, so start off 2022, I recently had quit my job at Walmart and I was working at HelloFresh because I wanted to make more money so I get a car than what I was making at Walmart at the time. And working at HelloFresh, it was ass, but their benefits were pretty fire. I may never work there again, but there's 75% off lifetime coupon for their boxes. That shit might have been worth it, honestly. So in February, I ended up participating in the Black History Month campaign on Twitch. If you guys remember that, I was featured on the front page. That shit was really cool. Big milestone moment type shit. This was the first time my channel was ever on the front page of Twitch, and it was one of the coolest moments so far during this whole content creation thing. I'm gonna have to put it on my bucket list for content creation. So in the same month, I ended up getting my first car ever while I was working at HelloFresh. And for those curious, I ended up getting 2022 Hyundai Elantra. Absolutely loved the car. It was a great decision. 10 out of 10 experience, everything, all that bullshit. Also, within the next day or so, quit my job at HelloFresh and I looked to find something better. At the time, I was looking for something that was gonna be more of like a career type of thing, and I didn't want to do anything that was physical. I wanted to be like in an office, some shit like that. So up until now, I was pretty consistent with streaming, as I streamed about 70 hours in January and 99 hours in February, and in March, it started to decline very quickly. In March, I streamed 35 hours, and in April, I streamed 9 hours. So you may be wondering, what happened? Did you lose your motivation to stream? No. In March, I got a job. So in order to pay for my new car, I knew I was going to need to go even harder if I wanted to still have money to spend and be comfortable and, just live the general lifestyle that I wanted to live. So what did I do? I became a car salesman. Best and worst decision I made all year. I was making more money than I ever had in my life at that point, and I literally didn't know what to do with it. So there were some problems that began to arise though. The longer I began to work there, the more and more I saw the shady shit I didn't like that was going on. Other problem, as I discussed earlier, I was no longer streaming or playing games really for that matter. And I actually really missed my community, that like the small community that I garnered there on Twitch, people that was in chat and stuff. Really missed doing that and playing games. And this was due to the amount of time that I was at work. I was usually working 6 days a week without much time after work to relax other than Sundays, and usually on my Sundays I'd probably be running errands or just generally busy with stuff that was probably related to work. Also, due to the new unhealthy habits I adopted while being there, I ended up gaining 30 pounds, which made me pretty disappointed in myself. So in short, while I was getting exactly what I wanted, it didn't make me happy. It's so weird to say, but I was doing everything I sought out to do, but life was great. It's just I wasn't happy at the time. So for those who don't know, I live in Texas and I've been out here for a couple of years after moving here from Georgia. So in May, I ended up asking my manager to take a vacation so I could return to Georgia, go to MomoCon, and see some of my family and friends again. It was great seeing some of the boys again, like, in RPS and alongside with the other people I met at the previous MomoCon and, all that stuff. I also got to participate in my first LAN there for Brawl, where I got to meet people from the Brawl community in person. Got to participate in my first tournament. It was just an overall great experience. Loved it. On the family side, it was great to obviously see my family again and catching up on things that was happening to me and how life was going. And, just catching up with their stuff as well. It was also my first solo vacation where I booked the flight, hotel, everything by myself, and that shit was just so cool to do and just a really good feeling. In total, the trip to Georgia was a success. Then I came home and I was back at this job and everything, and this job that I didn't really like, and I was already having all these thoughts about. So eventually I decided to call it quits after probably 2 to 3 weeks from coming home. It was like 2 to 3 weeks because I had caught COVID, and I had to go through that whole thing, then come back to work, and probably left like a week after that. So In June, I left there and decided that I could find a new job at another dealership, preferably one that was like, not some shady bullshit with all the other stuff that was going on there that I just didn't like. And even talking to the manager, they was like, yeah, bro. I remember like bringing the problem to the manager, and they was like, yeah, man, it just be like that. What? It just be like that? So, long story short, by the end of the month, I was in fact at another dealership and worked there for a month, and I wasn't able to sell cars and instead just sat at a desk all day, unable to do anything. Now, you may be thinking getting paid to do nothing, I would take that instantly type shit, but I would too. But I was paid $900 out of the $2,500 that we were supposed to get. And when I asked about where the rest of our check was, the manager and HR acted like I was speaking Vietnamese, and they were essentially like, yeah, bro, we have no idea what you're talking about. We don't know what you're talking about, bro, and there's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, those two things working together, and the way the way the manager was and all that shit, went ahead and quit that one. So that's the third job this year that I told you I quit. After that whole thing, I was like, well, I can try out DoorDash and Amazon Flex, see how that works until I find something else. If I decide to do something else or continue doing the car salesman thing, or go back or try a different field or something like that. At the time though, I didn't really want to go to another job. I really liked the flexibility of doing Amazon and DoorDashing, which still allowed me to stream. And like I said, that was one of the really big things I wanted to do. So since I had all this new free time to do more things, I decided in August that I would return to YouTube. You guys remember the whole video I made on why I came back, and if you don't remember or didn't see it, then you are able to click to watch it here. So in that video, basically I explained what was going through my mind at the time, why I'm back, the whole reason I wanted to come at the content creation. So with this newfound determination, I decided a couple things. I would use this time to learn how to make better videos, begin to work out again so I could lose some of the weight that I said that I gained, and that I enjoy the rest of my year with the other 2 trips I had planned in September and October. As you guys know, I made a plan to upload a new video every day. This was for a few different reasons, but ultimately, I wanted to get into the habit of making the videos and the quality improving by doing so. It was very fun since I had to come up with a new idea every single day. As you all know, this eventually came to a stop because it was beginning to become too much work for me to do. So really in August to November, it was stream, record, edit, work, and going on my trips out of town in between, or hanging out with, some of my friends, in between there. While I did end up losing my streak, I did do something for the first time ever. I ended up getting my first viral TikTok. Not only 1, but 3 of my TikToks ended up going crazy in the Overwatch community, which was really fucking exciting thing to see. It was also another bucket list type thing for content creation that I had. In the 3 months I was heavily making content, I got over 1 million views on TikTok and over 100K here on YouTube, and thank you all for that. During this time, I created 29 videos and 63 shorts. Of these videos, there were some Let's Plays, some commentary, some really good stream highlights, a montage. I made a public Discord for my community again, and I made a video addressing the state of gaming. On the Twitch side, I was on front page for the first time ever, reached 1K followers, which was a long time goal of mine, did a 24-hour stream, did my first ever subathon, and believe it or not, I actually beat some games live on stream. The second half of the year has been so much more fun for me, and I feel like I've learned so much in the past few months. All this is really to tell y'all how I fell in love with content creation again, and ever since I left my job and I guess I've been chasing my dreams, I've been having so much more fun and overall just been more happy. Earlier in the year, I was pretty unhappy with a lot of stuff, but I can confidently say I'm happy with the way things turned out up to now. With all that being said, I want to look forward into the new year. Every year I set a goal for myself to try to achieve within that year, or a theme for the year. For this year, it was just get a car, get a better paying job, and what kind of happened earlier on in the year, so about halfway through the year, the new goal was just to have fun. This next year, I have some new goals and announcements. Next year, I'll be starting a podcast. The placeholder name for right now is Omnicast. The podcast will be on its own separate channel. The goal of getting it onto YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. The podcast will be small with me and 1 to 2 other people, and I believe I have a lot of potential guests that I could bring onto the podcast to discuss a variety of topics, and the guests will be more than just people in RPS. It'll be like, friends that I met through gaming, or other streamers, or, maybe some people I know like IRL. And on that note, I will announce the first guest on the podcast will be BB. If you've been to the stream, you know who that is. If not, then you'll find out when the podcast airs. Whenever I get to making that. I will also be putting up a VOD channel, so I can archive all of my Twitch streams, because I realized during editing, it would be very helpful if I had all of my streams actually saved somewhere here on YouTube for future use down the line, and to have it permanently instead of disappearing into the ether after 3 months. So, for example, some of the clips that I ended up using in the Golden Age of Gaming video were actually clips that I had like fucking 7+ years ago on my old YouTube channel that I was able to pull from there. And it would be nice to have shit like that instead of having to like look up other gameplays and ripping out hour-long videos for like just a couple clips or whatever. And it'd just be easier for me to have like my own thing, so I know exactly what the fuck I'm looking for, where it's at, and all that type of stuff. So I'm not sure if I will be moving the shorts there or not. Like, it'll just be like its own. It'll be basically like the stream channel. I'm not sure if I will be moving the shorts there, or if I'll just be keeping that here on this channel. I know I upload completely random shit every time I upload, so I want the people who subbed for shorts to have a place where they know exactly what to expect, but I'm not exactly sure yet. Also on my Discord, I want to become more engaged and begin to host events for the community to come together and just do fun shit. Like tomorrow, if we are able to, some of us will be watching Knives Out 2 in the Discord. It recently just got put on Netflix. So I would say the goal there is just to build or expand the current community. I just want to be more engaged. My final goal is to make more detailed videos like this one or the Golden Age of Gaming video. I really enjoyed making that video, and I think it was my favorite one from this year. So yeah, those are my goals for the year. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and I hope you stick around for the next year. I said it earlier this year, but I'm only going to get better, and I think I'm finally getting to that point that I'm making content I'm proud of, and I finally think I understand what kind of content creator that I do want to be. So yeah, you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And for next year, for 2023, in the comments, let me know what's your goals. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later and see you in the new year.